So we had the X Division International Dream Match, the Internet Dream Match to be precise, at Sacrifice, where Christopher Daniels faced a fan poll winner, which the poll was Daniels would face Austin Aries, Roderick Strong, Jay Lethal, or Matt Sydal, whoever won the poll.
I would have voted for Austin Aries.
Would you like me to expose the business?
Expose it?
They booked Aries all along.
I'm gonna punch my computer screen.
You feel cheated?
If you can't respect the sanctity of an online poll, what can you respect?
Aries did win the poll, but also they booked him from the start.
What the fuck?
I guess they knew of those four, because Aries is Ring of Honor.
Yeah, the former ROH champion.
Yeah, is he Ring of Honor champion right now? No, he lost it to Punk at this stage.
No, it's Summer of Punk.
Yeah, so he had beaten Joe this year. He lost it to Punk. So, like, he's, like, the biggest name of those four. So I think they probably knew Aries was going to win. They do break down the poll. They do say he gets 55% of the vote. So, dominant win for A-Double.
I wonder if that was... how can I trust that was a shoot now?
Well, they could have lied. You're not wrong. It might not have been 55%.
But, like, he makes the most sense.
My favorite thing is Don's like, you know, Mike, I don't want to admit this, but I actually voted for Aries myself.
I just like the idea of Don West, like, staying up all night watching his ROH DVDs. He's like, I gotta see Austin Aries in the TNA. And that's why Don West ROH funny.
Good. Very good transition back into the show. World class.
Yep.
And in the interests of transparency to you, our best friends, we were recording that first part right up to talking about Don West and Ring of Honor. And then for the third time recording, we cut out. So we gave up and we're back a day later. And you have to give all the credit in the world to one Liam Jones, who has come from an early work shift to fit this into his day. So you should go on Twitter and say nice things to him. And then probably more importantly, go to tnachat.com and give him money.
Yeah. Then I can quit the job and then I can do this.
For his devotion and dedication to you, our best friends.
I'm also exhausted, so if you wanted the manic energy of the watch-alongs, you're probably going to get it.
Yeah, if you're wondering, it's like, Liam suddenly hit Daniels and Aries and just energy levels fell apart. It's like, well, that's
just
what
died.
He really just hates Austin Aries.
Yeah.
So we were talking about how Don admitted he voted for Aries, which is very funny. And he gave the reason being that all the wrestlers in the locker room talked about how great Aries was.
That seems about right.
Which is funny. It's like maybe they were just burying Lethal, Sydal, and Strong.
But yeah, and like the actual match itself is really cool on paper because it is like this sort of long-term X Division champion at this point, and you know, guy fresh off being an ROH champion. It's like a cool little worlds collide moment.
It is an internet dream match. They're not lying.
No, not at all. So this was meant to be Liger?
Yeah, it was meant to be Liger, and they also wanted it to be Ultimo Dragon. We talked a little about that in the last episode, how they were trying to get them for this show, and as it turned out, they didn't. So they got Aries and then did a gimmicked poll, which wasn't gimmicked. It said Aries did win, but also Aries was meant to win. And they booked Aries from the start. But Aries was the man. This isn't Aries' TNA debut. He did some explosion stuff. His actual TNA debut was an explosion match against Mad Mikey.
Now that's the dream match. That's the McGee Hart of 2023.
Listen, we found that match. It's on Impact Plus.
Oh my god. Everyone, go watch it right now.
If you go to the Hidden Gem section on Impact Plus, that was one of the ones I actively sought out. The Austin Aries Mad Mikey match. One of the few men that Austin Aries is probably taller than.
So rude.
Yeah, it was a little mean, but it's Austin Aries. So, you know what? I don't feel bad about it.
Taller than you?
Is Aries taller than me? I'm 5'6". I think we might be roughly the same height.
You're allowed to say it then.
Yeah, as a short king, I'm allowed to call people small.
Yep.
I have that entitlement. Yeah, really good match. Nothing like blow your socks off, but one of those just rounds out a pay-per-view with a damn good 3.5 star Aries Daniels match.
And it was just fun. It was just fun to have on the show.
Yeah, didn't go out there and do an epic. They did a 12-minute match. It's just go out there, have a fun match. Aries hits his 450. Daniels gets his fingertips on the rope, which is always a nice touch. Just barely got there.
They did a good job protecting Aries.
Yeah, and Daniels reverses the Brainbuster into the Angel's Wings for the win. I think we talked about this in the watch-along, but it's remarkable just how much Austin Aries here is just Austin Aries.
Yeah, and only we think we worked out 3-4 years into his career, he just has it all together already.
Yeah, it's just this is the man who will win the TNA World title. There's not a lot of difference in the bell to bell of what this man is doing now in 05 versus what he does in 2012.
With a brief Austin Star interlude.
I'm excited to get to that. And he's 27 here, which is old-ish, I guess.
In comparison to his contemporaries.
Yeah, he's always a little bit older. You think of him as the young guy, but he's a few years older than most of the guys around him. He's closer to like Danielson's age.
Well, like, the thing with Aries is I think of him as like the generation after. When it's like he's actually older than the generation before.
Yeah, he should be in there. He's not quite Chris Daniels old, but he's what, if he was 27 now, that's 16 years later, so he'd be 43 now. It's math.
Explosions in my brain just occurred. I can't tell
Wait, no, it's 18 years, so he'd be 45. So yeah, he's mid-40s now, so he's not a young man anymore. Though he did kick ass when he was in TNA last time, or in Impact last time. So he's still good.
That was a good run.
It's so funny to think, like, if he wasn't Austin Aries, he'd probably be on AEW TV, like, teaming with Strong or something right now, wouldn't he?
You could say that about so many pro wrestlers throughout history, if they weren't just themselves.
Like, the two big ones at the moment are Low-Key and Aries. Like, Low-Key would be all over AEW if he wasn't Low-Key.
Yeah. But he is Low-Key, and that's part of being Low-Key, I think. Would Low-Key be Low-Key if he wasn't Low-Key? That's the question.
It's a very good one. And, like, I think there's a version of Undisputed Era that has Austin Aries in it, if Aries isn't Aries.
He was around there at the same time, wasn't he?
Well, he was never really in WWE. He did Tough Enough.
No, he did the Cruiserweight run.
Oh, he was in WWE. Oh, I don't know why I completely blanked that from my brain.
Yeah, he was Cruiserweight champion.
Yeah, and wrestled Pac at WrestleMania. I forgot all about that. That just disappeared from my skull.
Brief Raw champion. Oh, not Raw champion, Raw announcer or whatever, too.
Yeah, I cannot believe how much that exited my brain.
Yeah, like, that's such a weird of-the-moment run as well.
When was that? 2017? 16?
2016, I would have thought. He had a Mania match.
Yeah.
A really good WrestleMania match.
In front of like 7 people, because it was one of those on the pre-show where like nobody was in the building yet.
Was it him and Park?
It was him and Pac, yeah.
And then that's what led to like the Park issues too, because they didn't get paid for like a Mania payday because they were on the pre-show.
Yeah.
They didn't get like the DVD revenue or whatever.
I cannot believe how much I forgot Austin Aries was in that company. I can't believe it.
From January 22nd, 2016 to July 7th, 2017.
Yeah, I guess that makes a lot of sense. It was basically between Impact runs because he left TNA at the end of 2015, went to WWE, and then came back to Impact in the start of 2018. So
I don't think he actually did win the Cruiserweight title. I think he was just chasing.
Yeah, there you go. Aries and Daniels. Real good match. Daniels wins, reverses a brainbuster into the Angel's wings.
Aries defeated TJ Perkins, Jack Gallagher, and Mustafa Ali in a fatal 4-way.
Probably a good match.
But just like, what 2016 names?
Yeah, Mustafa Ali, who just wrestled on a WWE pay-per-view. TJP, who had a good run in the Best of Super Juniors. Mm-hmm. And Austin Aries and nobody else. No, nobody else. No, we're not going to talk about anyone else in that match. It's fine.
And noted...
So there's a couple other stories in the X Division. Let's go real quick to Shelley and Shocker because it's basically they just had a match at the pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. So they were 1-1. Shocker won the Slammiversary match. Shelley won the Super X Cup tournament match, and then they had their third match at the pay-per-view. Shocker having some lovely white tights on him.
Oh, just Shelley's still trying to find himself.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see. Like, this dude will be the most influential wrestler of a generation, undeniably.
Mm-hmm. And you see it in ring work. You're just not in like everyone's gonna rip up his gear yet.
Yeah, but in terms of look, presentation, how he carries himself, it's not there yet in 2005, in August 05. And you're just like, it's interesting to see how he'll work it out, and then he'll work it out on behalf of like 75 other wrestlers after him.
Yeah.
Which is very good of him to do. Go back and listen to our exact thoughts on the Super X Cup match between Shelley and Shocker. This is basically the same. Delightful little 8-minute match. Shelley wins by reversing a La Magistral and grabbing the ropes.
Jesus Christ. Knocking things over. That's how much I'm fucking amped up about Alex Shelley and Shocker.
So that rounds out the Shelley and Shocker series.